Fighting sail. I had to place it gently because when I throw it down, it knocks over my fleets. And it's a little too early in the video to be sinking fleets. We'll get to that. Be patient. Before we do, let me show you what I've done with my painting on these guys. These are all from Tumbling Dice. They are 2400 model. And these two ships both come from the American Fleet Pack. They're modeled on the USS Constitution, and as you'll note, I've painted them with two different colors. In the foreground now, you've got black, kind of grayish black sails with red trim, and now you've got kind of whitish sails with a blue trim. That's because I'm not going to collect individual fleets for individual nations. What I'm going to do is collect a black fleet and a white fleet, and I'm going to say things like, hey, today the black fleet is going to be French, and today the white fleet is going to be the Russian. And I say that because that's exactly what's going on today. Going to have a simple meeting engagement, open seas, nothing too fancy just yet. And what we have are a couple of fourth-rate flagships. In the case of the White Russians, we're going to have a couple of more fourth-raters backing them up, and then we have a couple of fifth-rate, a little squadron of fifth-raters. On the part of the French, we've got a fourth-rate flagship, and then we've got two squadrons. Notice that these ships here have a total of 3 sails. You can see it really good when you're looking straight down on it. Those are going to be fifth-rate ships. And then the little guys here with just 2 sails, those are going to be sixth-rate ships. All in all, that's 210 points per squadron. It's going to give us a nice short battle, I think, and it's going to help us get used to some of the finer points of the rules, finer points that my commenters were nice enough to help me out with by pointing out after my last video. Very kindly, by the way. I mean, one of the things I did is I just had people shooting 360, and somebody was like, hey, don't you need to do fire arcs? As a matter of fact, you do, and that's what these are for. You only fire, basically your firing arc looks a little something like this. So it's a 30-degree arc from the front corner and a 30-degree arc from the back corner. Now, as you can see, I went ahead and laid down some scratch for the fancy turn gauge here from our good friends at Litco. We've got the firing arcs. I've got the lovely turn gauge. I think now we know how to use that. It shows up really good on camera, even though blue on blue. What do you think in there, Litco? And then here is our weather gauge. So nothing too fancy over here on the White Russian side of things. We're going to have our little squadron of fifth raters to starboard of the flagship, and then we'll just kind of set them up 1, 2, 3, bing, bing, bing. For their part, the French are going to adopt a much wider stance. As you can see, they've got their fifth raters down here to the port side of the flagship and their sixth raters up here to the starboard. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put my compass rose showing which way the prevailing wind is right there in the center of the board. That should kind of help you, as I'm going to try to zoom in on the action a little tighter than I usually do. That should help with keeping you oriented. The next thing we have to do, oh, by the way, I should point out, these guys each have a morale of 21. Every time somebody takes a hit, they lose 1 from that morale. If the flagship is sunk, then you lose the game outright. We will start off, as we so often do, rolling initiative. The black die is for the black fleet. I'm going to throw a little blue spot up here. It's just a simple, I think it's supposed to be a wreck counter. That's going to remind me that the Russians have the initiative for this turn. And they're going to move all 5 of their ships like so. We're going to put our weather gauge down, or our, I don't know if we call this the weather gauge. Essentially, we put this template down like so. And because the wind is coming straight this way, I guess we'll kind of angle them a little bit like that. So these guys are all reaching. They're all moving just a little bit towards that corner. They're all reaching, so he's going to be able to move for every 4+ he gets, and with just the 1, he's going to be hard pressed. So in this case, with this turn marker, I like to use from tail end to tail end, and then that's it for him. The other 2 fourth rates, this guy first is going to do, and likewise, he's only going to get to move twice. So he's going to scoot on up ahead once and twice. And he's going to get out just a little bit ahead. And then this guy is also going to use all 6 dice. You can choose how many you want. And with a total of 3 successes, that's kind of what we were hoping for. When you move 2 inches, you can turn up to 30 degrees in any direction. So we put the template on this side, we move tail to there, he moves 30 degrees, and we're going to take advantage of that one extra movement to bring him out, and then he'll reline himself up and go 2 inches. So now we're doing exactly what you don't want to do, but we should have time to fix that. Then we've got 2 more 5th raters, and each of those guys is going to roll 7 dice. So I'll just roll them to show you what we get, and again, they're all reaching, so it's going to be a total of 5 sailing points for this guy, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sailing points for this guy. And that'll wind them up right over here. Let's go take a look at what everybody's out of range at this point, so let's go take a look at how the French are going to respond. The 4th rate flagship is the only one who's reaching. He's going to roll 6 sailing dice. He's going to get 3 successes. And he doesn't have to use all 3, does he have to use all 3? I'm sorry, he's got 4. 5, 5, 4, 4. I don't know if you do this or not, but 4s are equal to or greater than 4. You must roll all of the dice, but you don't have to spend any more than you really want to. With those 4 points, he's going to go ahead and move up once, twice, and now the wind is blowing this way, so he can move. Yeah, so he's going to turn, I think I already moved him, so he's going to do his 90 up to 90 degrees, and he's got 1 more sailing point, so he's going to cruise up to there. That's going to be it for him. Now we'll roll for all 3 of these guys, and that's going to be the 5th raters. Now they have navigators, so they're going to re-roll any 1s, and we're just going to go from the top down. So we've got, this guy can be re-rolled. They are close hauled. They're moving a little bit in, so they only get to sailing points on 5s. So that's 2 for each of them. That's 2 for the first guy. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 for the second. So 2, 4, and 1, 2, 3. So 2, 4, and 3. So they've swung around this side and are gonna, I don't know, run interference for him, I guess. Then we've got these 3. Oh, you know, I actually got that backwards. Let me swap these guys out, because what did I do wrong there? I didn't roll enough dice. These are actually the 6th raters. They should be rolling 8 dice. With the rerolls, I think it's a wash. These 5th raters, these are the guys that get to reroll the 1s. And they are still close hauled, so they only move on 5. So this first guy is only going to get 1 point. The second one will get 1, 2, 3. So it's 1 point, 4 points. I'm sorry, that's 5. So it's 1, 5, and re-rolling 1s. 1, 5, and 3. So the first guy, all he's going to do is move up 1, and then he's going to turn so that he'll be in better position next time. Since this guy has lots of sailing points, he's going to go ahead and do, so moving from, we'll put it at the back. So he comes to here, he swings around, that's 1 point. Then he moves up to here, hey, careful. And this time it's going to cost 2 points to tack up to 90 degrees. And then he can come up to there. And then this guy has 4 points, so he can go 1, 2. Oh, he didn't want to turn quite that far. So that's 2. And then we'll move him. We'll go ahead and make that turn. Take him 3. And I think that's good. We don't want to get, you know, I think I changed my mind. We're going to go ahead and move him up 4. And he comes up to there, and then he can kind of turn just a little bit more. We're going to roll for initiative again. The black sails get the initiative this time. In the event of a tie, whoever had the initiative last turn, that's what this marker is for. They get to choose first. So let's start down here this time. What do you say? We've got our D7s. And here's our template one more time. We drop this right here. The hey, wind gauge. You're supposed to be in that direction. And it's not going to change for this whole battle. There are opportunities, there are scenarios where it can change, but for today we're just going to keep it simple. keep it nice and even. He's going that way, so if we bring this down here, you see that it's going to be, whether he's reaching or running, don't make no never mind. He's going to be getting sailing points on a 4-up. So he's going to get a total of 4 sailing points here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sailing points. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sailing points. So we'll move them 1, 2, 3. And then it's going to cost, to turn 90 degrees, will cost that last sailing point. This guy's got 5 moves. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 90 degrees will be a 5th. And then this guy has 2, 4, 6 sailing points. Does he? If we lay this down, wind is out of the due south. He's only moving on 5, so he actually only has 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to move him up 1, 2. We'll turn him 30. And move him up 3. And then let's go ahead and turn him 30. And we'll just move them up 1 more. So we're going to have a bit of a mess right there. Over here on this side, we'll start with the little guys. And this time we'll do it right. Those 6... No, we got to start with the flagship to see which way he's going, right? The French 4th rate has 6 sailing. And he does not have a navigator. He's on... Ooh. We'll put this here. He is running. So he's get points on a 4-up. So he's got a total of 2 points. And he's going to use them both. He's going to come up here. Running out of motion there, isn't he? And then he's going to make that 90-degree turn like so. Now these guys each have 8 sailing points. And they're going to be... Are those guys re-rolling ones? Yeah, those 6 rates have 8, and they re-roll... Oh! I got to get my stats down right. 8 re-roll 1s, 7 live with it. 8 re-roll 1s, hitting on 4s, that's going to be 5 sailing points. Hitting on... I feel like I might have done that wrong. Oh, he's moving this way. The wind is on this side. He's moving that way. We're only hitting on 5s. And I've already lost track, so we're going to do it again. This guy, hitting on 5s, re-rolling 1s. He only gets 2. 4, no, 3. 2, 3, and then this guy is going to get 4. So 2, 3, and 4. One. Turning 90, 2, 3, 1, 2, turning 30, 3, and we're just going to leave them right there. So the Russians are just hitting them line abreast. We'll see if we can bring the French are hitting them line abreast. We'll go ahead and see if we can bring the French into a better alignment. Our flagship is going to roll 6 sailing dice. He is still reaching. So he's hitting on 4s. So he gets a total of 3 moves if he wants them. And I think he does. He's going to move the 1. And then he's going to make that about 30-degree turn. He's going to move 2. And then he's going to move 3. Did I put that right? Front to front? No, it should be back to back. And then he's going to turn in like that. And I think they're probably going to come around this way. Then this guy is a 4th rate who rolls 6 movement dice. Hitting on 4s. He's going to get 4 sailing points. If he moves up to here, he can turn up to 90 degrees. for 2 points, and then he's just going to go ahead and cruise once and twice to there, and then we're going to roll for this guy over here, and he's going to get 4 movement points. So he's going to do the same thing. He's going to come up 1, turn 30, and then I think that's it. I think he just moves forward 1, 2. We'll turn just a little bit more of that up to 30, and then we'll bring him up to right there, because that will be about the end of the turn. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of shooting going on here. We do have these last 2 5th raters who get 7 movement dice, and they're going to be hitting on, this front guy here is close hauled, so he's going to be hitting on 5s. He's going to get 2 points. This other guy is more reaching, so he's going to hit on 4s. So it's 2 points, and it's 4 points. So let's move this guy first, see where he winds up. He's going to move up once, twice, and then he can turn up to 30 degrees. 3 times. I think that's it, because this guy, remember, only has 1, 2 points, and that's it. Now we got some guys that are in firing arcs, and it's going to be a little bit interesting. It looks like these guys have almost crossed that T. The French get to fire first, and I've put this down to show you that these are the firing arcs. This guy doesn't have anybody in his fire arc. This guy, oh, I gotta remember to keep it like that. So if we put that there, and we drop this like so, he does have a couple of shots he could take. And this guy also, I think, has no. Unfortunately, he's the only one of these 3 guys that can take a shot. And he's got to take a shot at this guy. Now, as a little 5th rater, he's only going to get to roll 5 dice, but he does get to shoot before the other guy. And the Black Fleet, does that guy have... No, I'm sorry, that's it. He's only got 3 dice to shoot. And because that ship is beyond 12 inches, he's only going to be hitting on a 6. Long range, he needs a 5+. If the ship has any damage, its gunnery is halved. Place a cannon token next to the ship. And that's what these little guys are for, my little Litco guys. So he goes, bow, there's a broadside. Just like that. And then we roll, and on a 5 up, we'll see what happens. So he gets 6 hits on this guy. Target rolls a number of dice equal to its hull stat. Now, as a 4th raider, this Russian ship has a hull stat of 5. So we'll roll. And every 4+ cancels out a hit. So that's a total of 4 hits canceled out. So that didn't do any damage to the ship. We have to check and see if anybody else has a valid target. This guy does not. This guy does not. He might. So we check from front to front. He might be able to hit this guy down here, except that's 12 inches, that's 18. He is still out of range, so they need to get a move on. That's it for the Russian shooting. Then we have to deal with these guys shooting, and this guy has a fire arc that looks a little something like this. So the only guys that are in his arc are here. And again, I think, oh, he is in range. But now these guys can combine fire to hit this guy. And we use the greatest distance. So it's only going to be hitting on 5s and 6s. But both of these Russian 5th rates can combine to make a single attack at 6 dice. They get a total of 2 hits on this guy. And he is a tiny little... so 2 hits. He does not cancel, but he has solid... It's called... What's it called? Architecture. So he gets to reroll 1s. So he doesn't negate either of those. So both of those hit. The French fleet loses 1 morale. They lose a number of morale points equal to the damage up to the max of the hull. He only has 1 hull point. So that means the French morale goes down to 20. Then the ship is shaken. The ship gets an anchor token. So that's what that token is for right there. And we still have a lot more shots left to go. These guys, he's got a shot on the flagship. He's actually got a shot on this guy too if he wants to take it. And then this guy has a shot. And if we line it up, now unfortunately he got in the flagship's way, so he does not have a shot. But he has a shot. We've got 2 separate shots. It's kind of on the line. I'm going to roll even odds. 1, 2, 3. He does not have line of sight. So he does have line of sight. Both of these ships are going to be attacking this guy. And that means those are both the 4th raiders. So they're both going to be rolling 5 gunnery dice. And these guys have marksmen. So each of these attacks gets to reroll the 1s. They're hitting on 5. So the first attack has 2 hits against the flagship, who has a hull of 5. So 2 hits versus 3 saves. So no damage there. The second shot, rerolling 1s, does a total of 2 hits against a hull of 5. So 2 hits against no saves. So we throw down another anchor token, courtesy of Litco. For those 2, they are shaken. And, each 4+ cancels. So he actually cancels one of those. The ship gets an anchor token. It's still no difference. Their morale goes down to 19. So first blood, long-range gunnery, goes to the Russians. And, of course, we're supposed to be putting these down to show that there was a couple of broadsides here and here. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hey, did they cross the T? And yeah, they kind of did. But what happens is when you're rolling, normally, if you roll a 6, you can roll a second time. And if you get another hit, it counts as an extra hit. If you've crossed the T, as long as you keep rolling 6s, you keep adding hits every time you roll another 6. At long range, there's no through fire, no explosions, so it is what it is. We're done. That is the end of the turn. We did our initiative, we did moving, we did shooting, we're all done. There's other things that come into play, but those come into play during the turn. We're going to roll for initiative. And on a tie, because the French had the initiative this time, on the last turn, this time, the tiebreaker goes to the Russians. The Russians get to go. And this just helps remind you who all has fired. We're going to go ahead and, what do you think? Should we pull this down here to remind us, or should we put it up there where it'll be definitely out of the way? Let's go ahead and slide it up there. And we're going to start with the flagship, who is close hauled. He's only going to be moving on 5s. He only gets to move ahead 2 inches. So he comes up to right there, and he's done. Then we've got one of our 4th raiders who is going to roll 6. And again, they're all close hauled, but he gets to move 3 times. So he's going to go ahead and scoot ahead once. He's going to scoot ahead twice. And then he's going to use that 3rd point. Now, because he's turning away from the wind, he can turn up to 90 degrees. And he still has 1 more sailing point that he can use. This guy then gets to roll, and he gets 5 sailing points. He's only going to move the 1 time, and you have to move 2 inches to make the turn. He's going to turn the almost 90 degrees, and then he's going to move 1, 2, 3, and he gets to move 4 if he wants to, so he'll come up 4 to there. Now we can figure out where these 2 little guys are going to go, and those little 5th raiders are going to roll 7 dice straight up. This guy here in the front is running close hauled, so it's going to be 5s and 5s. And the first guy's only going to get 2, so he will just cruise ahead once, and then we'll cruise them ahead twice, and we'll just kind of turn just a little bit. And then this guy here is going to roll a total of 3 successes. So he'll do much the same. He's going to cruise up once. I guess we better turn so we don't hit our friend. Twice. And then we'll move him up that 3rd time to there. All right. So there. Oh, you can't really see that, can you? See them supporting each other right down there? That's what good friends do. They support each other. Just like me and old Exodite. Exodite Wargaming is one of my... he's one of those YouTube channels. He's only got like 400 followers, and I don't know, 200 followers, something like that, which is ridiculous. I'll try to remember to throw a link in the description because he deserves way more than that. Now, the good news is they get to pick, and they get to pick where they go first. But the bad news is now the French know exactly where they're at. So when the French go to make their move, they can kind of compensate for that. Although the French are in some trouble because their flagship up there, he's got an anchor token. So even though that flagship gets to roll a total of 6 sailing dice, he only moves on a 6. After he's done with his sailing, he can try to deal with that anchor token, but he's got to take the results of this roll. And 2 hits is going to be... That's not too bad, actually. He can move up once, and then he can move up 2 times. But the anchor comes with him. Yeah, he's got to make a discipline check now. And the Black Fleet has a discipline of 6. He needs to roll a single 6. And he got it. So the anchor token goes away for now. Then we're going to roll for those 3... That little squadron of 5th Raiders. Let's do the 5th Raiders first. Those guys are going to get a total of 7 sailing dice, re-rolling ones, and we're going to do this guy down here. We're going to call that a 2. And he is running, he is reaching, so any 4 is a success. He's only going to get 2 successes. And it's just time, if he gets 2 successes, then from back, or if you prefer from front to front, because he's not, is he going to turn? Yeah, I think we're going to turn a little bit that way. Then we have this guy is going to roll his 7 dice, and that's a pretty good result right there. He's going to come racing in. We're going to go back to back, stern to stern, so we can turn in like that. That's 1 point. And he's going to turn a little bit like that, up to 30 degrees. That's 2 points. He's going to come up to here for 3. And then he's going to come to here and turn like that for 4. Is he still in? He wants to stop right there. He's going to move a little bit less than 2 inches on that. And then we have this guy up here who is going to be in the same situation. And you might say he's in the same boat. Ha! Ha! He's in the same boat. Somebody's hosting a YouTube show. As you can see, he is only going to be hitting on 5s for the sailing points, but he does get 3. And that ain't so bad. He's going to come in the 1. And then, boy, he's turning into the wind, so that's going to be a 2-point move. And then he's going to scoot up like this, so he's got clear line of sight. And if we look, I just want to show you this now while we're focused on it. All 3 of these guys are going to tee up on him if they survive, because we still have 3 more guys up here. And we'll start with the guy with the anchor. That is a 6th rate ship. He's going to be rolling 8 dice to see how far he moves. He is going to be hitting on 5s, so he's only going to get 2 hits. He can move a total of 4 inches up. And he's going to, actually with those 2 sailing dice, he's only going to be able to move to here. And then I'm tempted to actually turn him. No, we're going to go ahead and count on our buddies to catch up. Now, as far as that anchor is concerned, I take it back. He's got an anchor. He only hits on 6s. He's only going to be able to move right there. And then he has to make a discipline check. And because he is a 6th rater, he only has a discipline of 3. Looking for sixes. Oh, boy, he got it, and then some. So the anchor goes bye-bye. Then we've got this guy back here, who is going to hit on fives because he doesn't have the anchor token. So he's only going to get one, and that last guy is going to get two. He's going to move up and take evasive action, so that's one, and then he's going to move up 2 inches to there, and then this guy is also going to move up 2 inches to there. So the French are badly misaligned over there on that northern side of the battlefield. We're on to shooting phase. The white Russians get to shoot first, and that means these two 5th Raiders are going to combine all 6 gunnery, and they're going to target... Well, hang on now. We got to look at this. So this guy and this guy, they got to hit him. Now, he is within 6 inches. So in this case, because they're firing at point-blank range, we're going to roll the 3 and the 3 gunnery dice. They're going to hit on 5s, and on a 6, there's a chance for more damage. So what this means is they've got a total of 2 hits already, and then they get to re-roll because of this guy and see if they can get a 3rd hit. They do not. But they got the 2 hits on this ship, and that ship now, that 5th Raider, has to roll his hull and see if he can save. And he's only going to get 1 save. So he does take 1 damage. That's going to give him an anchor token. And we could go ahead and put some smoke down here. Blam, blam. Like so. That he took a hit, so that means the French morale is now down to 18. Then we'll cycle up here, and he's got a shot there. And I think he's got a shot there too. This poor little 5th Raider is really gonna take a beating this turn because both of those 4th rates are gonna be gunning him down with 5 dice. Now these are individual attacks, so it's 5 dice, re-rolling 1s, and the 5 is the only thing that hits because he's beyond 6 inches. So with that 1 hit, then he gets to roll for his hull of 3 dice. So 1 hit. Looking for saves. That 1 hit does lower the morale to 17, and it does give him an anchor token. Then his compatriot is going to fire another broadside. Kapow and kapow on this guy. Oh, and I should point out, any 6s from this shot have a chance to explode. So the 6s are 2 hits, and we get to, because he's firing on his stern, so 2 hits, and then I guess that's it. Then we'll roll for the 3 to save, and in that case, he saves both of them. So all that shot in the air, all it did was give him a little token. But hey, we took the 1, and then does he have a shot? If we get down and look mast to mast, he actually does have a shot at the stern there. There's no explosions, but hey, you might as well go for it. You get to roll 5 dice, and he's re-rolling 1s. He's only going to hit on 6s because of the extreme range. So this long-range gunnery duel is working out about as well as you would expect. Oh, I'm sorry, hits are on 5-up. So he does get 2 hits. He just doesn't get any explosions. And then that black flagship has a hull of 5, re-rolling 1s. So 2 hits, 2 saves, nothing doing. Now the French get to return fire. And we'll go ahead and drop. I don't think we even need these anymore. So we've got a total of 1, 2, 3 6th rates. That are 5th rates that are all going to shoot. That's going to be a total of 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 shots. And we're going to put them on this guy right here. 9 shots. And we always use the most difficult shot. So this guy, center mast to center mast, is just beyond, well, that's right at 6 inches. 1, 2, 3, it's 6 inches. Yep, it's 6 inches. Oh, I didn't specify. On a 1, 2, 3, it's less than 6. There you go. It's less than 6 inches. That means anything on a 4-up hits, and any 5s and 6s might do more damage. Oh, I'm sorry, 3-up hits on the... Wow, 3-up on the close range? Really? I thought it was 4, 5, 6. I've been playing too much full thrust. All right, 3-ups hit. So that's going to be a total of 4 hits to start with, 5 hits to start with, and then we get to re-roll these. So 5 hits and then the extra do nothing. Okay, so 5 hits on this lead ship who has a hull of 3. So 5 hits, we're going to save none of them, and that's some buku damage. Now, because he only has a hull of 3, the white morale goes down by 3 at the most. I'm sorry, he's got a hull of 3, he loses 3, but the ship itself still takes 5 damage. The ship is sunk. Yeah, that's the great equalizer. So they went from being down 4 to up 2. The morale clocks stand at 17 to 15 now. 17 for the French, 15 for the Russians. And I don't even think, the Russians still aren't done firing yet either, except I don't know that any of these guys have anybody in their firing arcs. This guy does not. None of these guys do. Oh boy. So we go back to initiative. We'll get rid of these broadsides. And with a 3-on-3, that means initiative goes over to the French this time. And the French are going to start with their flagship, 6 sailing dice. He is running close hauled, moving on 5s. He's going to get 2 movements. 1 and 2. Ooh, you got to go back to back. 2, and that's going to bring him something like that. Then his little 6th rate escorts are going to get to roll 8 dice straight up. And they are all not in irons, are they? Nope. They're going to get sailing points on 1, 2, 5s for this first guy. So the goal here is to predict where these guys are going. And we're going to bring them out this way for 1. And then I think we'll turn like that for 2. This second guy right here is going to roll. That's a 6. So he gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's got a lot more flexibility here. So that's going to be 2 points because he's turning into the wind a little bit. And then he's going to go 3 and turn up to 30 degrees. 3, and then 4, and 5, and that's going to put him right there. And we have this last guy here. Remember, they're going to shoot first as well. So this last guy is going to get a total of 1, 2, 3 sailing points, and he'll come 1, and then we'll turn him just a little bit, and he'll come 2. And this time we'll turn him just a little bit that way. And then we'll bring him up 2 more inches, which will put him right there. So they're a little, we can turn it however we want. We're going to bring him back like that a little bit, just to make sure that our firing lines are open. He got kind of wiggled a little bit. Then what do we have? We've got 3 more guys back here who are in trouble, because these 2 guys, now are they close hauled? You got to look. Nope, both of those guys are going to be reaching, but they're only going to be moving on 6s because they have those anchors, and because they are 6 rates, they are going to roll... Oh, I'm sorry, these are the 5th rates. They're going to roll 7 dice, re-rolling 1, starting with that guy. And that's going to be a total of 4 movement points for this guy, which he's going to need because he's going to come... Oh, no, wait a minute. He's moving this way. So he is close hauled. He's pretty close to being in irons. but we're going to give it to him. So he's going to come up once and make a free turn. He's got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 points that he can spend? So there's 2 of them because he's in, and then he's going to come up here, and he's going to turn 90 degrees like that. Then we've got this guy. Again, he's only hitting on 6s. Oh, that's right, he's only hitting on 6s, isn't he? So he has to stop like that. He's got the, and then he doesn't get rid of that yet. What are you doing? What are you doing? He only moves on 6s. He's only going to be able to move forward 2 like this. So we'll do front to front. And then he has to make a discipline check. And that's going to be a total of 3 dice, looking for a 6. So he still has the anchor, and this guy gets to get rid of his anchor. But that was the price of that, is that he didn't get that last 5-pointer. Okay. But that die roll of 5 didn't allow him to move. He only got the 2 sailing points, which was just enough to kind of turn in and come this way. And the problem he's going to have now is also he is in irons to start the next turn. But that's it for the Black Fleet. No, we got this guy to go yet still as well. It's going to be 8 dice. He is reaching, so he's going to get 1, 2, 3, 4 movements. He's going to go 1 to here, turn like so. That costs an extra point because it was more than 30 degrees. So that's 2, 3. Let's turn a little bit like so, and then we're going to come up 4. There we go. So our squadrons are looking good. Now we're going to start with our flagship for the Russians. He's going to roll 6 dice straight up for sailing points. And he is close haul. So he's only going to get to move twice, which is all he really wants. He wants to move once to here, and then he wants to move a second time to here and turn like that. Yep, that's what he wants to do, all right. Then we want to do our 4th raiders. That's this ship and this ship. And that's going to be 7 dice, re-rolling 1s. He is reaching, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3 hits with no 1s, and then the front guy is going to get a total of, so it's 3 and 4. So he's going to go once and turn, and then he's going to go twice, and then he's going to go 3 times. And this guy gets 3, so he's going to go once to here, and turn a little bit. He'll go once to here, and then he gets to go up to 30 degrees, so he's going to turn a little bit. And then he's going to go that last 2 inches, and that's going to put him in good shape. So we've got a couple of the 4th raiders for the Russians are trading shots with the flagship. And we've got one more guy down here. Now we need to worry about collision with this sinking wreckage. 7 dice, get rolled. And he is moving this way. So he's actually just a little bit close hauled. He's only going to get 1 movement point, which is enough to carry him, to right there. Now he has to pass the sailing test. And to do that, he's got to roll 6 dice, and he needs a 6. So we got the 6, so he can turn just enough to avoid it, but that's all he can do for this round. Which may be fine. That may be all he wants to do. Because the next thing we do is we roll, and on a 4 up, that wreckage goes away. It's not, so those guys still have they still have hope of being rescued. The ship hasn't entirely sunk. But we need to think about shooting, and initiative is still on the side of the French, so that means this guy is going to get to shoot at this ship before this ship can fire at him. That flagship has a total of 5 gunnery dice. and he's hitting on 3-ups. He gets a total of 4 hits, plus, still on 3-ups. So that's a total of 5 hits on that Russian 4th rate, who gets to save. And he's only going to get 1 save, so that's a total of 4 hits. The Russian morale goes down to 12 thanks to those 3 hits. 3 hits? No, 4 hits. Yeah, 4 hits. They're down to a morale of 11. Not only that, but that ship is going to receive, with 3, it gets a damage token and an anchor token. And look at these fun little damage tokens we've got here. And an anchor. So this guy now has an anchor and a damage. And that's what the little white plume of smoke is there. I guess I probably should glue these together, huh? Kabloosh. Then we've got these 3 guys who, I don't think they have a valid target. These 3, negative, they do not for the French, but this guy does, and I don't know if he does either. He doesn't. We just have one little pea shooter here who's got a total of, what is that, a 5th rate? Yeah, he's got 3 shots. You might as well take him. There's your 3 shots. He gets, ooh, and at close range, he's going to get a total of 2 hits. And this this Russian 4th rate, 2 hits versus plenty of saves, no damage. I think that's it for the Russians. Now that's it for the French. Now the Russians get to shoot, and that means he gets to take a shot at this guy. And because he has effectively crossed the T, he's shooting right down like that. So this Russian ship is going to fire 5 dice, re-rolling 1s. And he hits on 3s. So he got a total of 4 hits, plus these 2 get a reroll. So 5 hits altogether. And that little guy is only going to get to roll, what is he going to get to roll? He's a 5th rate, who gets 3? So 5 hits, and none of them get saved. So with 5 hits, this ship, the Russians have sunk another ship. That French ship loses them 3 more hull, 3 more, so they're down to 14 for the hit. And then because the ship sinks, they go down to 11. So the morale clock is at 11 for both of these guys. And we need to replace that with another wreckage token. So it's 1-to-1. A couple of ships sunk on either side. And these guys now get to return fire on him. Those 4th raters are each going to roll 5 dice for their gunnery, re-rolling 1s. And it's close range, so that's a total of 4 hits, plus, we get to re-roll these, 4 hits, 5 hits against a 1, 2, 3 saves. 5 hits against 3 saves, so that's 2 hits on the flagship. On the French flagship, their morale goes down to 9. And with 2 hits, that flagship gets an anchor. They get anything else besides the anchor? With 2 hits, they get an anchor. Yep, that's it. Then the second shot, second verse, worse than the first, is going to be 4 hits plus 2 more, so 6 hits altogether. Oh, we get to re-roll that 1. So 7 hits altogether. And that's 7 hits against a hull of, now they get to re-roll that. 7 hits against 3 saves is 4 more hits on that volley. And that takes their morale down to 5, and 4 more hits on the flagship means Heavy damage. 2 additional damage tokens and an anchor token. Unless it already has one. So that's 3 damage altogether. If the ship fails its damage control discipline test, it strikes its colors. Right, so we haven't talked about that yet. But that's because damage control doesn't come into play until after the sailing phase. We still have, I think that's it. I think this guy has a shot here. He does. It's further than 6 inches away. So this little guy, he's got a gunnery of 3. He's popping this guy, and the 4 and the 5 are both hits. I think that's it. So 2 hits against a hull of 3. So 2 hits. He saves 1. That's 1 more hit. The French morale goes down to, I think that's 4. And then we're going to throw down another anchor token for that hit there. And it's time to roll for initiative. As always, the white dice is for the French. The French now have the initiative. No, I'm sorry, the white die is for the Russians, the guys with the white flags. So the initiative passes over to the Russians. And now the white ships get to decide what they're going to do first. And so because he's crippled and hardly moving, we're going to move this 4th raider first. He's going to get 6 movement dice. And he is reaching. So he's going to get 1, 2, 3 opportunities to sail and move. You have to move that first 2 inches. So he's got to move to there. But then he can make his up to 30-degree turn like that. And he's just going to kind of circle around. And he can make, he can turn 90 degrees. So that's going to be 90 degrees right there. And then he can move up another 2 inches and turn on his stern like that. So he can take more shooting actions. And that's all he has to do. Now this guy is going to roll all 6 dice. He's only going to move on a 6. So he moves up to here, and he takes these with him. Now he's got to pass a sailing test to see if he can remove that. It's 6 dice. See if he can remove the anchor first. And he does not. So he's just stuck right there. Then this guy gets to move, and he's going to roll all 6. He is close hauled, so he's only going to get 2 movements. And that means he's going to move once to here. He'll turn a little bit. No, he's going to stay close hauled, and then he's going to move 1 more time to there. So he's done. And then we got this little guy down here who is going to roll 7 dice. And he is reaching, as you can see. So with those 4, he gets to move a total of 4 inches. 2, 4. So right there. And he's ready to intercept this guy. Of course, that is the end of their turn. So now we're going to go over to the Black Fleet gets to go. And let's move this guy first. He is, he's got a sailing. The Black Fleet is with 3 masts. That makes him a 5th rate. He gets 7 dice. 2, 4, 6, 7. He is re-rolling 1s on the sailing. He didn't get any, so he really only gets to move. Oh, the 6 is the only hit he's got. And then he's going to try to pass a discipline test. He only gets 4 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's stuck with the anchor for another turn. Then we're going to move this guy right here. He is running. So he can move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He can make 5 movements. Oh no, I'm sorry. You know what? He's in irons. He's moving down this way. So he only gets 2 sailing points. And he can move to here and then make that 30-degree turn. And he's going to move to here and he's going to make that 30-degree turn. And who knows, maybe, I'll go back a little bit so you can see, maybe this little guy down here can catch up to him in time to protect him. Just because you are in anchor, I think that means you can still shoot. You're just Pokey Joe. Did I move everybody? I didn't move him yet. Now he's got an anchor. So he's got to roll 6 dice, looking for 6s, and he's going to get 2 of them. So he is going to try to get out of the way of that guy. Then he needs to make a sailing test. Is it a sailing test or a discipline test to put out the damage? Ship has more. Maybe after ship is finished, make a discipline check. Yep. And that is going to be a discipline because it's a flagship. 6. He doesn't get a single 6. So that's no luck for him. He is still dragging those damage tokens around. And I think everybody's moved now? No, these 3 guys have not. And that is not a problem. Ooh, I see what they're going to do. They're going to try to come around behind and just light him up. That's going to be a total of 3 6-raters. They're all going to roll 8 dice. And, boy, so this first guy is... The wind is from this direction. He is close-hauled, so he's going to get 3 movement points. And he's going to move 1, 2, 3. He's going to make that 90-degree turn like that. Then the second guy right here is going to get a total of... Now, he might be in irons. Yeah, he definitely is. So he's only going to get 1 movement point to take him to here. And then this last guy, again, he's going to be in irons. And even with 8 dice, he's only going to get, 3 movement points, sailing points? We'll take it. 1, 2, and he's just going to stop right there. So he is in great position. Now, none of those dice are going to be explosions, but at least what it does is it gives them a chance to, first of all, bring him up just a little bit too. They may be out of his firing arc. But we need to do this in the right order, don't we, people? So the white ships are going to go first on the shooting. Who is that? I think we'll start with... So this guy does not have a shot. Unless... Well, he can shoot at this guy. Put that down. Yeah, he's got a line of sight there. So that 5th raider is... No, 6th... Is he 5th or 6th? He's... The White Fleet has got a 5th rate. He's only going to get 3 shots, but I think he's pretty close. Is he 6 inches? Yep. So hitting on 3s, he's only going to get 1 hit. And this little 6th raider is going to get to save it. Then he's going to take a shot over here. And that's going to be definitely medium range. He's going to fire a total of 5 dice, re-rolling 1s. He's hitting on 4s. So that's 2 hits. That didn't do him any good. So it's 2 hits altogether. Then he is... Oh, is he crippled? Gunnery and boarding or have? No, he's not. Four up, so that's 2 hits against a ship that's got 5 dice to save. So 2 hits and 2 saves mean no damage there. Then we're gonna have, I think that flagship is out of his line of sight. Oh, it's pretty close. Mast to mast. We bring it from the bow, not the bowsprit. We're gonna do 1, 2, 3. He is in. He's in. So that 4th raider, he's got 5 more dice. Rerolling 1s. Those 3 are explosions. So that's 4 hits, 5, 6, 7. Now, because he's firing at his stern, the 7 hits, you get to re-roll these. So that's a total of 8 hits versus 1, 2, 3, 4 saves, and he gets to re-roll that one. So it's 8 hits versus 5 saves. Those 3 hits reduce their morale down to 1. And the flagship now gets an anchor token unless, no, there was 8 hits versus 5 saves. For light damage, it gets an additional damage. So that's 3 damage on it. I'm going to do this. That's the end of the gunnery phase. We're going to roll for initiative. The French get it. Now he is going to have to roll his sailing dice. So the French admiral tries to move, and he doesn't get any movement. Then he has to pass a discipline test to see if he can remove one of those damage. And because he didn't roll any 6s, he failed. When you have 3 damage and you fail that damage control, things are going bad. He's burned to the waterline. He strikes his colors, and the game is over with a solid Russian victory. A total of 2 ships were sunk, 1 5th raider on either side. But the flagship took heavy damage, and because they weren't able to do the damage control, the admiral realized that he was about to lose his colors. So he strikes his colors, and that's the end of the game. That's a fun little game. I know it seems a little bit Car Warsy with your guys kind of sail around every which way, but the little ships are a little faster. You do need to keep track of the weather gauge, particularly when you're starting, when you're losing. You need to worry about things like line of sight. You know, I think I might have forgotten to shoot these guys too. Like, those guys might have done some serious damage. At any rate, kind of a fun little naval battle. Open season, open water, nothing too big. Maybe next time we'll go ahead and throw a couple of shoals out there to give ourselves something to maneuver around. The 200 points is pretty solid, I think. But really, these ships are all kind of on the smaller side. I got a lot more of these big boys. A couple of triple deckers coming. So we'll get those painted up. We'll have a good time. Yeah, a month or so maybe, or if the bug catches me and I just want to throw some pieces down without doing a whole lot of big campaign and stuff. Anyway, it's a great part about this hobby, right? All kinds of fun stuff you can do. Whatever you're in the mood for, get it on the table. Roll them bones. Till next time, guys, remember, I'm praying for you.